Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Colossians 3. It says, if they have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is. Seated at the right hand of God, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. If you have died and your life is hidden with Christ in God, when Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Put to death, therefore, what is earthly to you: sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. On account of these, the wrath of God is coming. In these you too once walked, when you were living in them. But now, you must put them away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator. Here there is not Greek and Jew, circumcised, uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave, free, but Christ is all and in all. Put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another. And if one has a complaint against the other, forgive each other, as the Lord has forgiven you. So you also must forgive. And above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. And let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs with thankfulness in your hearts to God. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Wives, submit to your husbands as it is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. Bondservants, obey in everything those who are your earthly masters, not by way of eye service as people pleasers, but with sincerity of heart, fearing the Lord. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ. For the wrongdoer will be paid back for the wrong he has done, and there is no partiality. Colossians 3. So what we looked at today. Kind of been a rough week for me. And there's lots of pieces in here to really maybe kind of take heart. I don't know if you've watched any of the videos that I posted on YouTube at all this week. Trying to, just from the words that I shared with my words of the day. Talking about being twisted and contorted, and being the best that we can be. Being a star. Being the star of your life. It says here, if they have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on the things that are above, not on the things that are on earth. This is where a lot of times we're looking below, we're looking down. And when we do that, we're allowing others to really come in and take control of our lives. We're allowing them to dictate how our life is going to go. We have now not become that star anymore. We are not the star in our life. We're loving Christ, we're doing the best that we can, but we're being manipulated. We are being twisted and contorted because of how they are taking our lives. We need to remember to be calm and be quiet. Another one of those words from this week to really kind of put things in perspective, to try and get those voices to not be going on in our heads, because we have those voices. Had a guy in town this week who was talking about Joan of Arc. And a great story if you've never read or watched the movies. And you can even read her transcripts from her trial, which is very interesting. But always talking about the voices that she heard. Sometimes the voices are true voices that we're hearing. So things that we need to understand. It's even for us, for me, it's my consciousness saying, whoa, wait a minute, stop, what's happening? What's going on? Because we're dealing with things every day in life, and because of what we're dealing with, we feel that anger, we feel that malice, we feel that wrath, and we need to stop, step back, take that breath, so we're able to get ourselves back on track. We lose ourselves. We lose who we are. We lose who we are meant to be. Again, we are the star in my life. Jimmy, this is my life. And God is going to help me through my life. He is going to encourage me. He's going to motivate me. He's going to inspire me. And he's going to help me be the best that I can be. So then I, through others, to others, can help them be the best that they can be, to really encourage them, to help them succeed in business and at home. Being that best person that they can be, doing the best job that they can, being the best person, parent, brother, uncle, aunt, sister, whatever it is. Because that's what we should be doing with one another, really sharing that love. Compassionate hearts, being kind, being humble, being meek, being patient. I fail at many of those, if not all those at times. Just like I fail at the anger and the wrath and the malice. That's when I got to take that stop and step back. Because you always hear 2 steps forward or 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That's what happens when you start letting things get in your mind, and then you get completely lost and you're not sure where you're going to go or what you're going to do. But we have to be careful, because there are people out there that will manipulate us into whatever it is that they want, to make us think they want something that they really do not want, just to put you under their thumb, to control you. And we have to be careful with that, because then we start going into a spiral. We start to fall downhill, and we're not sure where we're going at that point, or what's going to happen. We need to then kind of roll forward, because we're feeling like we're stuck. Not going anywhere, not moving forward, not even moving backward. We're just we are where we are, right? That also is where wisdom comes in. Because as you're dealing with things, you're learning how to move forward. It does not matter who we are. We are all the same. We're all children of God. We're all equal. We all need to take care of one another. It does not matter if we are not on the same belief system. We still need to love each other and take care of one another. I had to do with the Strength Finder this week, so I'm joining a chamber board here locally. So I've got my first meeting here in a couple weeks. But then with that Strength Finder, it gives you those 5 things that are your strengths. And one of mine, of course, was being a learner, which, yep, I will totally give him that, because I'm always wanting to learn something. And, I shared my words of the day to help you learn something, or, interesting facts. I do all kinds of weird things on social media. Input. Yes, I will give my input. Sometimes even if it's not asked for. Responsibility. I do. I feel responsible. I have a responsibility of things that I need to get done. My belief is strong. I always remember you've got the Aaron Tippin song to, something to believe in. You got to have something to believe in or you'll fall for anything. Or even Poison. Give me something to believe in. Remember that? I remember that when I was a kid. Brett Michaels singing that. I'm not going to sing it for you. Don't worry. But it is. We need to have something to believe in. We need to figure out what it is that we can do to make us better, to be the best that we can be. And for me, I like feel connected. Yes, I've said that I am an introvert, which I am. I can be extroverted if need to be. It's my job a lot of times. But even being introverted, I still want to feel connected. Being introverted, I still need to know that there are people there that I can talk to. Because when I get into a position when there's no one to talk to, my brain, the overthinking kicks in and I start to fall. I start to fail. And sometimes I can't get it back, and then it puts me in a bad spot for a while. And then what happens is I'm starting to think these things and I start pushing people away. I'm bad at that. Very bad at that. But trying to do the best that I can. Trying. Again, we're practicing. We're not perfect at life. We're doing the best that we can. Just like being a lawyer, they're practicing law. Being a doctor, they're practicing medicine. See, isn't it funny how it's okay that those are things that can be practiced, but nothing else is practiced? You are expected to know and be perfect about it. How does that work? No, we're going to fall. No, we're going to fail. But we need to get right back up and keep going again. Now, unfortunately, in our world, when you get down and you fall, you're going to get kicked to be kept down because, maybe you intimidate someone. I'll get rid of them. They are so much better than I am. And heaven forbid they try to be the best that they can be and to learn more and be better at what they do. No, we're just going to keep this person down because, they might get a promotion before I will. No, that's not the way it works. It's not how we should be. Yeah, they might get a promotion before you, but why did they get it before you? Maybe it's time to look internally and go, I need to hold myself. I need to be responsible. I need to hold myself accountable and go, what the heck am I doing? What the heck is going wrong? What can I do better? Seeking your mind on higher things, on things above, not on our earth. It's the highs and lows. Are you setting your mind above or are you setting your mind below? I always keep the bar low is what I ever tell my that way, I can easily just step over it. Then if I do something, you are very happy with me. Oh, look at what he did. Sure, I did. Thank you. You're welcome. But again, I have issues with self-esteem. I have issues with believing in myself. I have issues with, I have issues with talking about myself. I have issues with taking compliments. I don't take those very well. I'll be honest, compliments a lot of times, they can embarrass me. And I'm not sure that I always want to hear them. And I'm not sure how to deal with that. I'm not sure, what to do. But I try. I make changes that people don't expect. Like I got a haircut this week. It freaked everybody out. Like, why? Just time for a change. Also, I missed wearing my hats. Missed wearing my Superman hats. Now I can wear my Superman hats again. It's the little things. Sometimes it's those little things that we need to look for. It's those little victories. It's those little things that we can complete. It's not always the big picture. And what does the Bible say? That those that you can be trusted with small things, you can be trusted with a lot bigger things. When will those big things come along? You never know. It's not our timing. But it's being prepared and being ready. Being that Boy Scout. always be ready. The Air Force, aim high. I remember that on the commercials growing up. Be all that you can be in the Army. I remember that one growing up too. All those taglines. Have you ever paid attention to those little slug lines, the slogans, the taglines for commercials and things that you watch, and what they can say and how they could really help you and speak to you to really help you be the best that you can be, to really step up that game? Being twisted and contorted, I've been that way pretty much my entire life. Trying to deal with things. Not always dealing with them well. Not sure how to deal with life in many ways. Now, my life could be a lot worse than what it is. There are some that it is. But that's something else that I'm not sure I agree with either, because every time you have a bad day, then someone's like, well, you might be having a bad day, but, here's so-and-so did this, or in history, it was like this. I get that. Yes, people have gone through a lot worse things than many of us. But what is it that we are really able to process and handle? To me, that's almost like that's them telling us to feel guilty because of the way we feel, to feel guilty to be a failure. No, I don't want to feel guilty. I have enough guilt in my life. Getting up in the morning, I walk out and I feel guilty for whatever reason, and I don't even know why. Not that I even did anything. It's whatever we were programmed with when we were younger growing up. Did you have a great childhood? Had the dinner with your parents every night around the kitchen table, or with your family? Or were you ignored? Basically put in a room, locked in a room, don't come out. Well, unless you have to go to the bathroom, then that's okay. You can do that, but then go right back into your room. Don't want you out here. Were you ignored? Were you nurtured? Were you loved? Were you brought in? Did people go to all of your events through school? Yeah, these are all real important things. That's very important in the formation of who we are or what we're going to become, which again comes to us that we have to be responsible and held accountable because we have to make our choice. We have to choose about our life. Now, sometimes you have some good choices to make and sometimes you have some bad choices to make. Sometimes easy, sometimes hard. And yes, there are consequences that you do have to then be responsible for because of the choices that you make in your life. And it stinks. Yes, it's terrible. Oh my, what a world. What a messed up world. I don't know that it's ever been non-messed up if you even read through history. We just do it different now. I'm sure when they created the printing press, they thought how that was taking the world down because now so many things were being shared so much quicker. Now we have the internet and things are being shared so much faster. The internet is almost our printing press of today. But it's instantaneous. You post something and it can be seen anywhere. With the printing press, it had to be printed and then delivered and then distributed. So it took a little longer, but it still went to the masses. Now it goes to the masses. Read Colossians 3 today. How can it help you be better? How can it help you be the best that you can be? And, be kind, be compassionate, be humble, be meek, be patient. I strive for those every day. Forgive each other, love one another. Be that best coworker. Help somebody be the best that they can be. I deal with a lot of egos every day and a lot of people that they're not going to change their ways. They're not going to change what they are, who they are, or what they think. And you're certainly not going to tell them what to do. And talk about frustration. Yes, it's frustrating. It's annoying. Drives me crazy. And then I got to remember I need to breathe. Need to step away. I don't always step away. I'll confront it. Not always the right answer to do, but I do. Some respect me for that. Some, I'm sure, not so much. For the most part, I think I get a lot of respect for that, though, because we do have to stand our ground. Something to believe in. To say, I think I know something. I think I know what we need to do. I think I know what needs to be done. So let's get it done. Let's quit dinking around, which is what many of us do. Colossians 3. How can it help you be that better person? How can it help you really help somebody else that needs to be picked up, to be lifted up? All right? If you enjoyed this, be sure to share it with others on social media. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Don't hide very well. I was talking to a couple people this week, and I really want to get them on my other podcast, and I'm failing. Need to kind of get my stuff together. In fact, the guy that was just in this weekend for the talk, I'd love to have a chat with him. And there's another guy that I know that, it's just, I'm trying to get everything organized, but the demands of life, the demands of work, the demands of home, it becomes overwhelming. And you really are not sure how to handle it or where to go or what to do. But I'm going to try. I always say that. But it will happen. I know it will. But you can follow me there and see all the things that I post and even the words of the day that I share as well. But thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Whatever platform you're listening on, be sure to give a rating. We appreciate that as well. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines, across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.